A very good morning to one and all present here. On behalf of iCongo, I would like to formally invite you and welcome you to the 4th Right Every Wrong Social Justice and Citizen Action Conclave. This year, we will be discussing a theme that requires due attention, confronting the challenge of combating corruption and related issues. iCongo is a people's sector movement encouraged and mentored by eminent and concerned volunteers. We work with citizens to sensitize them, not just to give money, but also to get involved, understand the cause, and advocate to be the change, and that is our mission mantra. On the other hand, and on the other end of the spectrum, we train NGOs not just to chase money, but to get people involved. As fundraising is not about money, but creating a movement with supporters. They in turn become advocates to build a long-term ecosystem of credibility and public trust. iCongo has initiated the Right Every Wrong movement to motivate citizens to involve themselves with social issues plaguing the society. Before we begin, I request everyone to kindly stand up for the candle lighting ceremony. I'd like to call upon Sunil Nanda, Megha Upadhyay, R.V. Krishnan, Pramod Chawla, Mahendra Pratap Singh, Himanshu Swankar, Major Sangeeta Tomar, Jerry Almeida, to kindly come on stage and initiate the candle lighting. Socialist and integrity were inserted into the preamble by the 42nd Amendment Act of 1976. It took an emergency for us to realize that the Constitution is made by and made for the people. It's not given to them by any outside powers, and the power is of the people by themselves as a democracy and a republic. The two crucial elements seem to be fading today. This year, the government announced 1911 to 2511 as an act we are trying to promote communal harmony. Thus, we also propose renaming the day as National Day of Citizen Action for Social Justice and Communal Harmony, as the winds of communal tension threaten the very being of our nation by the terror created by enemies both within and outside the boundaries of India.
5 years actually from the time we've been founded, we realize that it's not all about being a good human. I often hear people go to church, go to temples, go to mosques saying that we are good humans. And the point that we always try to emphasize is just being a good human is somewhere incomplete, because you need to also be a good citizen, especially in a democracy. And I sometimes laugh when people tell me that we live in the world's largest democracy. I say largest for whom? Democracy for whom? For the 5% of Indians who have the money power to go in malls and buy consumer items, or are you talking about the 80% of people dying of hunger? India Shining sounds like a good campaign on paper, but the real truth of the country is that India is whining. That's thanks to corruption and bad governance. And we've always tried to say that citizens have a role in governance, because until and unless citizens wake up in this country, don't expect politicians or bureaucrats to actually perform their role. Because we the people was a power given to us as a people power, and that's what democracy means. So that's the basic idea. The idea is to rekindle the spirit of the pledge and make people realize that the Constitution means something for all citizens. Thank you.
Thank you, Jerry. I request everyone to kindly repeat after me. Constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic, and to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic, and political, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith and worship, equality of status and of opportunity, and to promote among them all fraternity, ensuring the dignity of the individual, and the unity and integrity of the nation. In our Constituent Assembly, this 26th day of November, do hereby adopt, enact, and give to ourselves this Constitution. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. very developing nations. Corruption is rampant and widespread in India. Criminalization of Indian politics is a problem. Talking tough alone will not yield any result unless the deep-rooted causes of corruption are identified and treated. Hereby, our endeavor is to get an insight into what evil rests in over judicial and political system. So here is an opportunity for all of us to understand our responsibilities, voice our thoughts, and do our bit for our nation and for its future. This is the right place where you can come and give your ideas and work on it so that we can do something for this corruption which is deep-rooted in our system of Indian society. On behalf of iCongo, I welcome all the guests, all the speakers and participants for this session. Thank you so much. I request Mr. R.V. Krishnan to please come on stage and address the gathering.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Krishnan and I represent the Professionals Party of India. I cannot tell you how happy I am that I have got this opportunity extended to me by my very dear friends, iCongo, the Indian Confederation of NGOs, to be able to speak to all of you today. Corruption is rampant. It's all consuming. And you're all overwhelmed. Say no to corruption, it says somewhere. There's a section of us who say yes to corruption. They happen to be powerful. They happen to be in positions where their saying yes to corruption impacts all of us. Has the time come for all of us to feel strongly about it and rise up? Or should we wait for another 10 or 20 years? What happens if we wait for 10 or 20 years more? As it is, 60 years is too late, I am told. Probably is. I am exactly 60. Should we wait? Ladies and gentlemen, each one of us in this room has to make a decision for ourselves, and that is the meaning of democracy. We are a mature democracy. We are the largest democracy of the world. Each one of us has to make a decision. I am just going to present the facts before you in a few minutes, and then I'll ask you, what do you think we should do? And that will be our path. That will be our roadmap. Is corruption beginning to touch your life? 60 years ago, when we became independent, Great Britain ruled very large parts of the world. It was said the sun never set on the British Empire. How many of you know this? The sun never set on the British Empire. You know what that meant? That meant wherever the sun was, there was a colony of the British Isles. At that time, ladies and gentlemen, we were the jewel in the crown. At that time, when the entire world